Hey, Josh Seiler here, and I want to talk to you a little bit about meditation and emotions. Traditional meditation, as we probably think about it, is sitting down for X amount of time and being as still and quiet as we can. From the outside, that's what it looks like. From the inside, what's going on, and there's no right or wrong way to meditation, but on the inside, what is hopefully happening is that you're staying present, that you're following your breath more often than not. And when an emotion does pop up, you breathe through it, you feel it, you let it be there, and it'll dissolve and disappear. And that is how you work through your shit. And every time you sit down to meditate, if you're doing it that way, and every time that emotion pops up, which is an experience from the past, it doesn't matter what it was, it's a physical sensation and a chemical concoction that you begin to bathe in and that you begin to feel in your body. And I would identify it. I would identify where you feel it and sit with it. Breathe through it and come back to the present moment when it's done moving through you. Every time you sit down to do that, you lower the intensity of that emotion until one day that emotion doesn't trigger you. And that memory without that emotional trigger is wisdom. And so this is the practice of meditation, of condensed version meditation, as I'll call it. There's many other ways to meditate, but if you're sitting down to meditate and work on your shit and deal with your triggers so that they're less over time, this is the practice. This is how it goes. And then you see that individual who used to be a trigger for you, or you have that experience that used to be a trigger for you, and you begin to notice how much less you begin to be triggered by it or that person, because you're able to control. You've worked through your emotional range, you've become familiar with that sensation, and you know how to let it pass through you. Meditation builds this depth. It gets you in touch with yourself. It allows you to know yourself. Know thyself, right? And this is the pathway to connect with God and Source, your inner guide. And it takes practice. But the longer you hold on to those memories of the past, and to quote Dr. Joe Dispenza, an emotion is nothing but a memory of a past experience. The longer you hang on to those, the more you become anger, or you become frustration, or you become bitterness. And that ends up being how people see you. And before you know it, you're lost. And this can take years, and so can undoing this work, these emotional triggers. It can take years, but it's so freaking fun to get to know yourself in that way and trust yourself and just sit down and go inside, breathe, and explore your depths. It's so amazing. And things begin to unfold for you in reality, in your outside world. Things begin to unfold in amazing ways. Your awareness is heightened, and your confidence is raised. Your clarity of purpose is raised. Your vibration is raised, and your connection to yourself and Source is raised. And so the breath that I would use the easiest way to connect to breath when you're in a meditative state and your mind has pulled you out of the present. I got this from Thich Nhat Hanh years ago. A great book he wrote called Happiness, is to simply follow your breath with I am this inhale and I am this exhale. And to do that for as long as it takes to keep you present. And when you notice that you get pulled away, let it be okay and come back to your breath. Have a great day.